Chat, I just saw this video get uploaded. It was from 2 days ago, from the Critical Drinker. Apparently, Rian Johnson isn't able to make Star Wars anymore. Let's see what this is.
Ah, Rian Johnson. That's a name you don't hear too often these days. Well, except when he
No, I haven't heard that name in. Oh my god, I haven't heard that name in years.
pops up occasionally to subvert your expectations with another trite, smug, borderline nonsensical murder mystery film, which is the cinematic equivalent of an Agatha Christie novel filtered through.
No. Okay, here's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna hate on those movies. Because those movies were good. Alright? Those movies were good.
Through the lens of Gary Busey.
The Star Wars movies? Not good. Not good. No. No. Well, actually, I said movies, but there was only one, bro. Like,
oh, brother, this guy.
there was only one of them, so like, I can't really say too much about the Star Wars films that he made because there's only one of them that's ever been released. So,
do I look like I need a psychological evaluation?
yes.
Not at all.
But there was a time, dear viewer, when his disconcertingly round head was on the thumbnail of every Star Wars video on YouTube. There was a time when his name was on the lips of every fan of the franchise, usually followed up by, I can't believe they actually let this guy make a Star Wars film. Yes, the man who wrote and directed The Last Jedi, arguably the single most destructive and divisive movie in the whole history of cinema. The film
Absolutely. Oh, fuck. I don't know if I would go as far as to say all of cinema, but definitely all of Star Wars history, yes. Absolutely.
that fractured an entire fan base, derailed an already uncertain sequel trilogy, indirectly triggered the downfall of J.J. Abrams, put the entire Star Wars franchise into a
That's right. It was uncertain at the time, wasn't it? Like the Force Awakens did really good, and most people really liked that movie. And then The Last Jedi came out, and everyone was like, actually, this trilogy is gonna suck. Because this one movie sucked, and the first one wasn't as good as I expected it to be.
terminal decline, which it's
like hindsight is 2020 or whatever the fuck they
say. And gave us a scene that will live in infamy for as long as cinema exists. Yeah, that guy. The movie itself was bad enough, but it was Ryan's attitude that really seemed to rile people up. From openly mocking the fan backlash and sniping at people on social media with passive-aggressive clapbacks, to casually dismissing any criticism of The Last Jedi, no matter how well informed or intentioned, the guy just absolutely wouldn't give an inch to anyone. The film in his mind was literal perfection, and if you couldn't see that, then you were clearly too stupid to occupy the same planet as his cosmic genius.
Really?
What is Negan doing in a Critical Drinker video?
It wasn't just cope, it was an active declaration of war against reality itself. He almost seemed to get off on the hatred directed to
This lady's face is how I would feel if I was in the same room as this man.
declaration of war against reality.
Oh, you can't even see it. Wait. Yeah, that's how I would feel.
Reality itself. He almost seemed to get off on the hatred directed towards him in his film, like his whole objective from the start wasn't to entertain but to enrage. And well, mission accomplished, I guess. Now, you might think that any studio executive with even a grain of common sense would see Johnson for the nuclear-grade liability that he was, and quietly shuffle him off into obscurity. But leave it to everyone's favourite case study for the Dunning-Kruger effect, Kathleen Kennedy, to take the most logical course of action and do the exact opposites. Before The Last Jedi had
What? I'm sorry, I haven't watched one of his videos in forever, but what the fuck are these clips that he's putting in here?
even hit the cinemas, Kennedy was hyping Johnson up as the future of Star Wars. He wasn't just
like, is he also drinking whenever he is editing his videos as well? Because what the fuck?
In this film, he was working on a whole trilogy of movies that would truly unleash his creative genius.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
And from her point of view at least, you can kind of see why he was so appealing at the time.
Bro, I think he just does what I used to do when I would find clips or memes to put in my videos. I would just search up whatever I was thinking or whatever I said in the video. I would search for any video where somebody said that exact thing and put it in there. So like, for example, the "Are you sure about that?" Like, no one knows what this fucking video is. It looks like it's from an evac commercial.
Appealing at the time.
Sure about that?
And he just put it in there. Like, no one knows what this video is. I've never seen this in my life. But this is the type of shit I would put in. Like, one time I was calling Sneeko a bad guy, and I needed a clip to put after it for some reason, because that's just what I used to do in my videos. And so I would... I searched it up, "You're a bad man." And there was like this really, really old clip from some kind of movie where it was just a kid going, "You're a bad man. You're a very, very bad man." Like that, it was just the most random clip I could find.
And from her point of view at least, you can kind of see why he was so appealing at the time. TLJ, for all its faults, was one of the few Star Wars projects that didn't cause her any major headaches during production. The film arrived on time and on budget, with no major conflicts or disasters to speak of. Johnson apparently shares her political sensibilities and her commitment to the message. Plus he seems like kind of a pussy, so I'm sure he would have been more than happy to implement all her dumb as fuck ideas. But even once The Last Jedi released and the full magnitude of the disaster became obvious even to the most disconnected of executives, Kennedy doggedly stuck to her guns, insisting that Rian was her man and his trilogy was absolutely gonna happen. Now, these days the announcement of a new Star Wars project carries about as much weight as Ariana Grande, but back in 2018, before Lucasfilm had a list of failed movies long
Carrying as much weight as Ariana Grande. That's a crazy reference.
than my arm, this was still a big deal, and people took it seriously. If this round-headed narcissist could cripple the franchise with just a single film, imagine how much more damage he could do with 3 of the fucking things.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
But as would eventually become a laughable
I know that clip.
pattern for Lucasfilm, months slowly turned into years and nothing more was heard about Rian's mythical trilogy. What was it going to be about? What era would it be set in? What characters would it deal with? Was it even going to be in the same galaxy as Star Wars?
I think they were trying to set it up to where it would be in a different galaxy. Maybe like really recent. Instead of a galaxy far, far away, it was gonna be really recent in a galaxy called the Milky Way galaxy or some shit like that. Probably. That's probably how they would have set it up.
Nobody knew, least of all Kathleen Kennedy, who for years continued to promise everyone who would listen that Rian was still working on it, that it was all still gonna happen, that she wasn't desperately throwing shit against a wall and hoping that something would stick. Then, a few days ago, Rian himself finally confirmed what we all knew for years. His trilogy was never gonna happen.
Oh no! What happened?
Nothing really happened with it. We had a great time working
Was that him? What the fuck? That guy has the exact same voice.
together and they said, let's keep doing it. I said, great. I would kick ideas around with Kathy. The short version is, Knives Out happened. I went off and made Knives Out and it was off to the races, busy making murder mysteries.
Bullshit!
Yeah, I'm not really sure I buy the whole "I was just too busy" excuse. Ryan's released a grand total of 2 movies in the past 7 years.
What the fuck? The girl from 13 Reasons Why was in these movies? I don't remember that at all. The fuck? What is Hannah Baker be tripping? Why is she here?
He's not exactly snowed under with work. It doesn't take a genius to surmise
Wait, does that mean that the Knives Out franchise takes place in hell?
7 years, he's not exactly snowed under with work. It doesn't take a genius to surmise what really happened all those years ago. Everyone at Lucasfilm was flying high.
I am not gonna elaborate on that statement.
In the run-up to TLJ's release, expecting it to be an even bigger hit than The Force Awakens, the grand sequel that would finally bury the legacy of old Star Wars and cement the success of Kennedy's new vision for the franchise. Then, when the exact opposite happened, they were thrown into
Yes,
panic.
because according to Kylo Ren, if you're nostalgic about the past, get over it, pussy. You're a fucking little bitch. Stop being nostalgic about the past, you fucking idiot. Like, that's what Kylo Ren said to the audience.
Panic modes. Even someone as stubbornly retarded as Kathleen Kennedy would have to know that pushing ahead with a whole trilogy of movies overseen by a guy less popular than the fucking Ebola virus was something
Holy
that even she couldn't afford
shit!
to indulge in. On the other hand, publicly firing him or cancelling his trilogy would mean acknowledging the failure of TLJ, and by extension herself for approving it in the first place, and so instead she did... well, nothing at all. She just kept kicking the can down the road, vaguely alluding to the trilogy still being worked on, while desperately hoping that people would either forget about it, or Rian would find something else to do. Any excuse they could use for why his trilogy couldn't happen. Oh yeah, he had amazing ideas, and we were all behind him, and the fans were super excited for more of Rian's version of Star Wars, but we just couldn't get the scheduling to work out. What can you do, eh?
I mean, I was morbidly interested in what the trilogy would be like. But like, I wasn't gonna take it seriously if it actually did get created.
Serious?
You know, it's a testament to the lasting damage that one movie did that even now, almost a decade later, it's still such a toxic and volatile subject that everyone involved is still making excuses for it. You'd think so long after the dust has settled, Rian himself might allow time for just a little bit of introspection and honesty about the film he made. Maybe acknowledge that TLJ wasn't quite the cinematic perfection they all believed it to be, and that's why he's never going to work in the Star Wars franchise again. But nah, that would involve showing a tiny bit of humility and self-reflection, and just like 8 years ago when the backlash and criticism first began, his ego just won't allow for it. Better instead to just plow ahead with your little murder mystery films. I mean, the best thing I can say about the Knives Out movies is that, well, at least they keep him from fucking up any more franchises. So farewell, dear Rian, whatever anyone...
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, what good franchises do we even have anymore? Like, I watched the first 2 Jurassic Park remakes, or reboots, or whatever the fuck, the current series that they're on, and I didn't watch any of them after that. Isn't there like 4 or some shit now? Of the reboot movies? Anyways, I didn't like them. The first 2 were okay, but, you know, overall not great. Most Pixar franchises got fucked over. Disney's not doing shit. Like, I feel like Marvel's not doing great recently. I mean, there's not really much Rian can do to fuck that up. Harry Potter, I've never fucking watched it. I watched part of one movie, and the only thing I remember was the fireworks show. Lord of the Rings, I mean, that shit's been over for years. Narnia, shit's been over for years. Like, what do we have? Genuinely, what franchises do we have left?
Everyone else might say about you, you definitely made your mark on Star Wars, that's for sure. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
That's such a goated outro, bro. Luke Skywalker dying and going, alright, get out of here, bro. Like, leave me the fuck alone. That's so funny. Anyways, if y'all haven't somehow already followed The Critical Drinker, go follow the fucking dude. His videos are so funny. But they're so random sometimes. Anyways, like and subscribe.